See if the microphone wants to stick around. It is broken a little bit. All right. Dave Schultz on the Schultzy Cast, episode 63. We made it to Syracuse early this morning. I'm not exactly sure why I'm up right now. I mean, I didn't get into bed until 3 a.m. I'm just going to sit. The flight out of Lafayette was delayed. And then the flight coming into Atlanta was delayed. I wasn't supposed to get in until like 12:50 to begin with, but hoping to get an Uber ride at 2 is kind of rolling the dice. But I did, and he waited. I got to tip him well. Says he waited a half an hour. He waited 20 minutes, but you do have to tip him well. Although, how many more rides are you going to get at 2 a.m. in Syracuse on a Sunday night? Everything's closed. So, and I don't know where there's got to be something about the miles, right? I mean, we went from the airport's 15, 20-minute ride. Although this guy, I mean, it felt like we hit the highway here in Syracuse. I mean, it felt like he was coming in for a landing. He was going 80 miles an hour in a smaller car is not the same thing as doing it in a bigger car, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Maybe it's just the difference between in a passenger and not being the passenger. Smaller car gets every bump. Had to remind myself he's not going to put himself in danger, but felt like we were going fast. But where have I gone? Like, if I'm going to College Station or New Orleans or Baton Rouge, right? It's except on the basin, right? It's kind of like it's 75, 79 miles per hour. It just felt like we were going faster in this guy's car. I don't know. All right, so yeah, we landed at 1:50, and then by the time got the Uber at 2:33, he made about a 20-minute ride home, 13 minutes. I looked at my watch. It was fast. But all's well that ends well. All right, so mass exodus from the Cajun softball program, which we could basically see. I didn't see if anybody else left as of yesterday. Jamarcus Fitzpatrick and Matt Miguez have been keeping a good track of that. So it was first Vic Valdez went in there, the catcher. And then I think it was Chloe Rossetto, and then Lauren Allred, Maya Davis, and Brooke Elstead went in there. I'm guessing most of those players are going to Texas Tech. I do not know. All right. Then shortly after that, Maddie Hayden and Kayla Falterman said, "Hey, we're sticking around." Cece Vasquez, Gabby Stutz, and Lainey Crater did it. And then others came out yesterday and said they were sticking around. Sam Rowe said she's coming. And then Lexi Delbury kind of did the head fake. I thought that was pretty good. Seems like the girls that are staying copy and pasted their things. The girls that are leaving copy and pasted theirs. This is what Lexi said. Dear Cajun Nation, during these uncertain times, I'm so thankful for our Cajun support system. I came to UL to find my love for the game again, and thankfully, here is where I found it. Thank you, Cajun Nation, for bringing me in and being my home away from home. And then she goes, with that being said, usually following that sentence, it's I'm entering the transfer portal. With that being said, I'll be wearing Louisiana across my chest for my senior season. The whole thing was like, I'm leaving and then I'm staying. So, and then there were a couple others that said that as well. I want to make this clear. I wish all of I wish everybody luck. I'm pro, players making a little bit of cash. I don't know how much softball players getting it. Someone said the pitcher from Stanford going to Oklahoma may make like $250,000. Like this, does Oklahoma have to pay that? I mean, really? Right? Like, if you're Oklahoma and you already are as great as you are, do you have to kind of come up with that money? That's kind of the opposite way. If you want to come here, we got a little bit of scratch for you, but goodness gracious. So I wish everybody the best of luck. We do need to, remind others of where the chaos started. And I am still not convinced we're not going to hear another story about what's going on and how this all came down. If we find out, and basically, I don't know what's holding up the press conference, and I guess nobody's around during the summer. But Jerry Glasgow took the Texas Tech job for no more money. Something is, as my people would say, is not kosher. Something's not on the up and up. Okay. It does not matter to me. And I understand the whole, we're paying the players. The school's going to be paying the players. What does that have to do with 25? Right. I mean, and why are the players going to go to Tech? Players have never gone to Tech. Now you're paying them to go to Tech. They're going to go to Tech. No one's ever gone to Tech. It's not a good softball program. They have never cared. They just don't. That's fine. They've cared about the football program, right? Patrick Mahomes and such. Bunch of quarterbacks have come out of that. And have, Mike Leach was there for a bit, right? Basketball program, Bobby Knight, right? Things they've cared about. They have not cared about softball. And so now that they're paying them, they're going to go. Other than Baylor and Oklahoma State, we'll see. But that's still not going to happen until at least 25. And so that's for the 26th season, right? That's not going to even happen until next school year. Well, all right. It doesn't change the fact that the Cajuns were loaded. Everyone was coming back. I guess we're waiting on Sam Landry to figure out what she's going to do. Has she come out and said anything yet? Let's see if Jamarcus did another one here. It's something again. J Fitz TV, you can follow him there, KATC. It does not. No, nobody knew during my travel. All right. So it's going to take. It would take. He's 65. He's got to build this up. You're not going to build this up overnight. This is not a. I don't get it. But so I don't begrudge him for leaving if he thinks he can, and I don't begrudge the girls for leaving either. Disappointed, right? What can you say? And again, I'm not sure national championship is what the goal is. That may be the nice in theory. The idea is to get to the College World Series. I think that is the loftiest goal as you can get. I'm not sure they would have been able to do that this year, even if they'd beaten Baylor. There were some holes in the team that you kind of saw from the get-go. And unfortunately, the strength of the team let them down. We've been through that. It was the defense that kind of let them down. They didn't run out of pitching. The defense let them down. But none of that was going to change for this year. Like, he should have stayed another year, and then he could have gone anywhere. I don't know. Maybe we'll find something out. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Again, usually these guys are announced and the team announces it and there's a press conference, right? I presume you're going to do it this week and not next week because that's July 4th, right? Yeah, you're not going to do it this week or not. You're not going to do it next week. So somewhere along the way, Glasgow is going to be announced at Texas Tech. We'll find out what his salary is. And then when we find out it's about the same thing that it was here, that's going to add to the intrigue about why this happened. And if they committed to the NIL, that's great, but that's not going to happen for 2 or 3 or 4 seasons. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And as far as the girls are concerned, if you are going to Texas Tech or anywhere for that fact of the matter, and they are promising you money, get it in writing. As someone who was trying to get something in writing and swiped away from him before it got down in writing, make sure you get it in writing. That is my only advice. I don't care if it's 4 figures, 5 figures. Be shocked if it's 6 figures, but at whatever it is, right? And as Josh Pate would tell you, there's a difference between $10,000 and $90,000. 5 figures, but that's a big difference, right? So make sure they get it in writing, and make sure you're trying to get some money up front, not on the back end. You want me to show up on campus? Here's my check. Let's go. All right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there? It is episode 63 of the Schulte cast. I guess we got up early. This is ridiculous. All right. So we're going to the Y. We have a great YMCA here. When I used to live here before I actually moved to Florida, I could join for like $25 a month. I don't know what it was. And I'm not going to mind. I'm going to be here for 2 weeks, and that's where the weights are. I don't have my weights here. So, being able to go, normally this would not be early, right? Normally I'd be, just go to bed at the same time. I actually get to sleep in, right? I wake up usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I wake up 4:45. So now I don't have to do that. I can wake up at 7:30, do the Schulte cast, and then go work out. Or I can wake up early, go there and come back, and it'd be less than an hour. I'm in and out. I don't work out that hard. If there's an Orange Theory in my future, that'll be at a different time. I got to figure out what the schedule is for Orange Theory. I don't think I'm doing one today. The goal. So first of all, I didn't eat that poorly. I had a chocolate chip bagel at 8:00 last night. I don't know what that was about. I did have 2 drinks waiting for the flight. One guy, I asked him where he was going. He's like, "Are you a Chinese spy?" I'm like, "Not that I know of." But I did watch the first episode of The Sympathizer, which I wasn't a big fan of. Maybe I got to go back and watch it. But he was going to Spokane and then going to Anchorage. So I go, "You must be in the military." And he goes, "Yeah, we're in Atlanta." And the guy next to me was in, I think he's in the music industry or production or the commercial production industry in Nashville. So, while we were waiting for our flights in Atlanta at the Fridays, they're like, "No food." Then they didn't have Diet Coke, although she went and got me the Diet Coke. That was pretty good. So I had Makers and Diet. All right, quickly, because we are going to. My mother's got an 8:30 class. That's why I'm going now to see if I can sign up for 2 weeks and don't need her hand holding to get me in to the club, right? Because I can go in and out. All right, quickly, LSU with more portal news, and I guess it's impressive. First of all, Jabari Antoine has decommitted from LSU. New Iberia, he's out of New Iberia. Top 65 recruit, number 6 cornerback. We wish him luck, I guess. To me, that means someone in his ear trying to give him money. I'm not sure what he's doing. Again, he still can't sign until December. So that's a little bit disappointing. All right. Let's see. So Nichols transfer, Jacob Mayers has committed to LSU. Interesting that that coach went to Arkansas State. So he's coming from Nichols. And he's got some good numbers, okay? But he also has some interesting numbers, all right? So overall, 14-2, 3.26, outstanding. 146 innings pitched, 211 strikeouts. Fan-damn-tastic, right? The problem is 134 walks. So if we, and this year, I mean, his numbers were tough. All right, he's got a fastball up to 95, huge carry, bullet slider in the low 80s. All right, he's control and command, and a third pitch will dictate his eventual draft stock. But they say he's comfortably a day one arm talent. Could be devastating bullpen arm for the Tigers. All right, and into a weekend role right out of the gate. This is Joe Doyle, who covers a senior analyst for somebody, FSS Plus. All right. But he had more. Oh, here you go. This year, 70 and 2/3 innings pitched, 106 strikeouts, which is fantastic, right? But 76 strikeouts and 71 innings pitched is not great. Like, that's bad, right? That's just bad. He can't walk, right? And his stuff in the Southland Conference allows him to have a 4.5 ERA. You can't walk a batter an inning and expect to have a 4.5 ERA in the SEC. We'll see. All right, they got a bunch of guys in the portal, a bunch of guys with I don't know about measurables. Maybe the measurables are impressive, but the stats aren't quite as impressive. Guys who are throwing really hard, really big. But again, that's we'll see. All right, maybe they work out. Hopefully it works out for everybody involved, right? I would probably think, a couple years ago, kids going to Nichols, LSU's not on his radar. Now he's going to go pitch for LSU. I presume he got a few bucks, and LSU is thrilled to have him. So it is interesting how that's happening. Oh, you know what? The Cajuns, by the way, quickly, as we got to get to the why. Let me see here. I think I liked it or retweeted it. We did do quickly a Locked On Sunbelt, App State. Should they be the favorites? Is Sean Clark? I don't want to say Sean Clark's on the hot seat, and I probably should have, which is a little clickbaity. The Cajuns actually got Kevin Malone out of Mobile, Alabama. Went to Vigar High. That's a nice get. But they also got I thought Cam Riley committed, but that's not who I thought I was looking at. I thought somebody else committed. Is it Cam Riley? I thought they got a big time recruit. I go to Sam Spiegelman, but he's probably tweeting 30 other guys. Let's see here. Latest. Let's see here. No, the big thing was the whole football and the whole cheap beer, Natty Light thing. Hilarious. Tulane started it. Cajuns got into it, and then LSU stepped into it, of course. Let me see here. No. I got to find out. No, let's try it quickly. We got to get going here. Let's see if it is on 24/7. Football recruiting commitments. Teams, Sunbelt. It might be Cam Riley. I don't know. Oh, I thought it was somebody else. Oh, Russell Babineau. That's a guy. 3-star, but almost 4-star. Out of Acadiana. That's why it's nice and big. Okay. That's a big time get for the Cajuns. He's got a 3-star rating right now of 88. That very well could go to 4-star. If he went to Auburn, Florida State, LSU, or Mississippi State, it probably would have gone to 4-star. But for now, he's sticking to home. I mean, that's pretty neat. All right, for now. So that's a nice get for the Cajuns. All right, again, thanks for tuning in. That's that USA Sports, that banner right there. Is that a 35-year-old banner? Did I get that? More. I got that I probably would have gotten that in 1989 at the US Open. I'm not sure I'd say I swiped it. And then the Texas Louisiana League champion Corpus Christi Barracudas, my guy Tim Leger, all right, hat tip, is back there as well. All right, so we'll be in Syracuse. Hopefully we'll be able to do this outside, shortly. It was kind of rainy and chilly. I don't care about the chilly. I care about the rainy. Not necessarily for me, but for the computer. All right, we're heading to the Y. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Locked On Sunbelt, App State, and then we talked about the same thing with the Cajuns disappearing. Cajun softball mass exodus. We'll just do more kind of a preview of the preview for football on Locked On Sunbelt for the next couple of weeks. And then I think I'm going on a couple of Funbelt podcast coming up here on Tuesday. maybe that's Wednesday's episode, and I'm going on another one. I got to do homework for a podcast. It is what it is. I don't think we're going out to the lake today. My family has a lake. It's cold and rainy. Family's out there though. So we shall see. All right. Let me head out to the Y so my mom's not late for a class. I will check you guys tomorrow. Probably gonna take a nap sometime today. I mean, it's sleeping for 4.5 hours. All right. That's all right. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.